Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody saw a video that somebody did this with Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe has a couple of tools Corel doesn't have. And they asked if they could do it in Corel, and I go, I'm pretty sure it can. So I watched the video, and you can't do it the way they did it in Corel, but we could do it. I'm going to take a 2-point line, and I'm going to hold down the control button so it's perpendicular. And then I'm going to Control D, and I'm just going to hold down the control button while I move that over, and then I'm going to Control D. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 of them. I'm going to group them together, and I'm going to hit P to put it in the center of the page. I'm going to rotate this guy 45 degrees. And then I'm going to Control D, and I'm going to go right here and mirror them. So we have that right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and group this together for a little bit so we can color this in. And I'm going to use the blue Smart Fill tool, and I'm going to start right there. And then I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's all we need. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, whoop, back up. And then I want this one even with that one. No, I didn't go far enough. I should have left my example. So there, that's even. So now we want to go up here and do the same thing, but we want that even. Now here's his question. And yes and no, we can't round off these corners like he did in the video. But what I can do is I can left click, right click, and I can weld this. And it gets rid of all the lines, so it's cool. But now I can take my shape tool, and I'm going to go to Windows, Dockers, and depending on what size you use, and I'm going to go corners, and I'm going to select these 4 corners and go 0.75, and it almost made a perfectly round corner. So let's go a little bit more. Let's go 0.8, and there it's close enough. And look at that, it did them all. Now, because I think I had it grouped together yes, I had them grouped together. So in the first one, I didn't do it. And so I'm actually happy to see that it worked because I didn't even select those. Well, you know what? Maybe if I select them all, look at that, it worked. Now, if it doesn't work, I really want to show the way it didn't work. So let's go up to Object, break the curve apart. Now we have individual, so I can select that and round that off. Then I can select these 2 and round them off. Select these 2 and round them off. I'm just selecting the 2 end nodes. And there you have it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and Smart Fill this. I'm going to set my nudge factor on like 15 inches because I want clean lines and I don't want to have, just in case these are so nodey and everything. Now I'm going to, here's a good trick. Group that together. I'm going to go ahead and hit P, but I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees back. So then I'm going to take a rectangle. Well, no, I'm not going to take a rectangle. I'm going to have that selected, and with the pick tool, I'm going to hold down the shape tool. I'm going to hold down the shift tool and double click on the rectangle. I've done something wrong. It's not quite a square, but it might still work. Now we want to group that together, and we're going to rotate it back to 0. And see, I couldn't do that before with the rectangle tool. I already must have made a copy of that. So we have that right there. Now, I want to keep that box. This one might look pretty cool. I want to keep that box for a reference point. So I'm going to Control G to group it, and then I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate it, and I'm going to move. I'm going to take the rotation and put it right there. Now, if we rotate from there 90 degrees, those will be touching. So what we have to do is Control D, click on that, put it down there, and then let's just move it down a little bit, trying to stay in that same line. Now let's rotate it 90 degrees and see you get that. And this is a total different look than the one before because I must not have extended it out as far down here. But then, now this is a group, so we can select it all, go up to Object, ungroup all, and we could actually take our virtual segment delete. Well, you know, we don't have to do that. Take the pick tool and just select these lines and hit delete because you don't want those lines there. And now I must have not grouped that one or ungrouped it. Sometimes if you don't go far enough down, there you have it. Now this one's not a square, but I'm going to Control G, make them all yellow, bring in a yellow box. And I kind of like it. I mean, it's different than the other one because in the other one, I think I had a more square of a box. So I made my extension longer. And by doing that, I just didn't go far enough with the Smart Fill tool. So I'm going to skip that one and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. So think about you've got to go up. So you've got to go here so you have one going up and then just go there and then skip that one and then go all the way to where you have an open one and just make it even. So now we're square. That's still grouped together, I hope. So we can go here and left click, right click, go ahead and weld it. All of them but one work, so we can just delete that. And now let's go up to Object, break the curve apart, get our shape tool and select those four and hit apply, hit these two, hit apply, hit these two, hit apply. So all I'm doing is rounding off those ends. And now we have it. Now I'm not going to Smart Fill this one, I'm just going to turn it into blue and it seemed to be working. Nope, see it didn't work. So that's maybe why I Smart Filled it in. And then just nudge that over twice, nudge this over twice, and now you have a square. So the exact same thing, Control G to group it, rotate it 45 degrees, so we have a square, and then hold down the Shift key and double click on the rectangle, go in and group that together, Control G, rotate it back to a negative 45 degrees to put that deal on the dot on the heart. And you could, let's just go ahead and do it. Control D, get your rotation. This time I'm just going to put it just a little bit down. Yeah. Really, if you had a line there, let's just do that. Let's take a 2-point line and go straight down, holding down the control button, and then that way it's perfect. Now click on this and move the center rotation to that line. And then, okay, look, we're at 315 degrees. So let's select that, Control D, and go, I would take away the 0 and go plus 90 degrees. Okay. I must not have this all a group. Wow, I made a lot of copies. Okay, there we go. And it's all one group. So let's put it back. I made that duplicate when I was making that line. So let's just, and see this line going to give you a line. And let's rotate it plus 90 degrees. Well, why didn't that? You know what? That's weird. Well, it's 315, that's why. So let's just rotate it and see, we need to go to 45. I do this a lot when I do that. Now Control D, and we're really off. A lot of times if you mess up on the first one, Control D, double click, it's still there. Now we're gonna go plus 90 degrees and then Control D. Then just take your pick tool and just pick, well, let's just do this. Select it all, go up to Object, Group and ungroup all, and then just get your pick tool and get rid of all these lines. And you know, I was just looking, this might be cool. Let's go ahead and group this together. Let's put it over here out of the way. Let's go Control D while holding down the Shift key. Bring that in, and we'll have something filling in that. That looks pretty cool. Let's take out the yellow box effect. Oh, I know, you know what? I want to make it blue. I want to make it yellow. I've been doing this lately because I think it really shows off. It, like on my thumbnails at least. Turn that black. Go up to Object, Order, Back a Page. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope that gave you an idea or two and hope I helped that person who saw that video. Thank you for watching.